Today I will show you how to draw this cute Easter illustration step by step. Please make sure to download the tutorial files on the link below before we begin. If you like my videos, you can find even more tutorials and exclusive brush sets on my Patreon page. The link to it is also below the video. Now if you are ready, let's grab our pencils and get started. I've gone ahead and created a canvas with the dimensions of 2000 by 2500 pixels. The drawing we will make today will consist of a few elements. And before we start drawing them one by one, let's go and change the background color. It will be color number 1 from the palette. And after that I will select color number 2 to draw the shape in the middle. For that I'm going to use monoline from calligraphy set. We can set the size to around 20% and draw an oval like this. Let's wait a second to make it perfect. And make it go vertically. Now we can fill it and turn the shape into an egg. For that I'm going to use warp tool. So let's click on the arrow and select it from the list. So I will drag these dots inwards a little. We can also drag this point down, and at the bottom I will make it wider. Maybe it may go a little upper at the bottom. I think now it is ready. Let's switch to uniform and place it in the center. For that we can use snapping to be more accurate. After that I will deselect. Since we are going to use a textured style, I think it would be nice if we add texture to the edge. So let's go back to calligraphy set and switch to chalk. Here the size can be set to around 12%. And I'll just go along the edge. This way we will add the texture, make it uneven, and follow the style. Maybe we can make the size a little bigger and go faster. Just let's make sure it's not perfect, as it was using monoline. I will finish it here on top. And now our base shape is ready. We can build the remaining composition inside it. Let's create one more layer and draw the first foreground element. It will be the fence. As the base color for it I'm going to use color number 5. And for drawing, I will continue using chalk. Let's set the size to around 22%. Find the center of the egg vertically and draw a rounded corner. Keep in mind that the brush depends on the tilt. Then I will also make it rounded here and go down. To determine the shape, like this. Let's also make it rounded here at the bottom and connect it like this. Now that we have the shape here, we can increase the brush size and paint inside it quickly. I will still try to keep some tiny gaps inside the shape to see this nice chalk texture. I'm making vertical strokes like this, and I will lower the size to be more accurate close to the edges. Just painting the remaining areas. Let me work on this edge and finish it. Alright, I think this one is ready. And we can shade it right away. For that I will create a layer above it and clip. Then I will switch to color number 6 from the palette. In my previous tutorials I show how to draw wood in different ways, and today I will show you one more. Especially for that I created a new brush. Let's find it in the set. It's called Rusty Texture. I will select it and set the size to around 45%. Let's apply it on the left half of the shape, making strokes up and down like this. We can go a little to the right side, and the more pressure we apply, the more opaque color we will get. So I will also draw at the bottom, go a little up, and get it textured. Alright, after that I will switch to color number 7. Lower the brush size a little, and paint more on the edge. Also go to the right side. Let's paint at the bottom. And it'll look like this at the end. I think we can apply color number 6 on the right side even more. Just a little bit. Alright, now I like how it looks. We can merge these 2 layers and duplicate it 2 times. I will grab one of them, go to transformation, and using magnetics, drag it to the side. Now I will remove magnetics and rotate it a little. Let's now pick another layer. Also first drag it to the right side with magnetics. Try to keep the same distance. Then remove magnetics and rotate it a little to the right side, which is clockwise. Like this. To make these parts look different, we can add different patterns. So I will first merge these 3 layers and create another one above it, that I will also clip. For the pattern I'm going to use color number 9, together with inker brush that we can find in inking set. The size of this brush is set to 8%, and I will start from the right shape. Draw a random pattern like this. It may consist lines, arcs, and different curves. I will also change the pressure while drawing them. Let me draw a curve here, then another shape inside this, and another line on the left. Now I will go to the one in the middle and try to draw a different pattern. First I will draw a shape like this, then another one, and a line. On the right I will draw a curve here, then another curve on the left side. Here I will make a line, and 2 more curves on the left. Let's finish the left shape. I will also try to make it different. So I will first draw a curve here, then one more. Here on top I will draw a shape like this, then a line on the left. And actually you can go with your own pattern. Just make sure they look different on each shape. I'm drawing the last one here. Now let me switch to color number 10, which is slightly lighter. I will also lower the size to 6% and add some highlights. I will be choosing the widest parts and adding more color. This way. Let me make it faster. It will just make it look more realistic. Alright, I think now it is enough. Let's go to the layer and alpha lock it. After that switch to color number 8 and also change the brush to soft brush, which we can select from airbrushing. We can set the size to around 10% and start darkening the pattern on the left side, where we can see the dark color. so it matches with the wood. I will also add it here, on the left side, and at the bottom. This will be enough. Now the fence is almost ready. We can totally merge these two layers and create another one below to draw horizontal parts. So first I will select color number 5 and chalk brush that we can find now in recent brushes. Let me rotate the canvas and I will just draw horizontally, like this. The strokes may go outside the egg. Then I will draw another line. We can make it wider. Let's connect them and make them rounded. Also on this side. Then I will increase the size and paint between the lines. Very fast. Also trying to keep the texture. I think I will move it a little down. Like this. And after that shade it. Same as we did the first 3 parts. So I will create a layer above it. Clip it. And first select color number 6. Here I will also use this rusty texture brush. We can set the size to around 30% and start making strokes along the lower edge. Also go a little up on the sides. I'm not pressing too much here and pressing more on the edge. Then I will switch to color number 7. We can lower the size a little and draw more at the lower part. Make the color more opaque. Let's finish it on the sides. Let's lower the size and add a cast shadow. Just like this, around the fences. And before we add the pattern, let's merge these 2 layers and duplicate the shape. I will move this one down and use freeform transformation to drag it inwards a little. Now we can start adding the patterns to make these 2 shapes look different. So I will merge these 2 layers and create another one above it. I will also clip it and select color number 9. Also switch to Inca brush. Let's draw horizontal lines. Let me set the size back to 8%. And we can also make them curvy or as triangles. Just making various patterns. Let me draw a few shapes here, changing the pressure, and then I will draw on the second shape. Try to make it slightly different. I will continue here, draw 2 more lines, and finish it on the edge. Let's now alpha lock the layer and grab color number 8 together with soft brush. Let's lower the size a little and start applying it on the dark areas. Like this. Now the fence is absolutely ready. I will go and merge all the layers for it. And in the next part, we will draw a basket with the eggs. For that I will create a layer above the fence. Let's go back to chalk brush, change the color to number 11, and set the size to around 23 or 22%. I will first draw a shape of the basket. It may go a little outside the egg shape, like this. Let's connect it at the bottom and make sure it covers the egg. So I'm just drawing an arc like this. To connect these two lines on the sides. On top of it I will draw an arc. We don't have to make it perfect, because it will be covered by another shape. Now we can increase the size and paint it quickly inside. Keep the texture if it is possible. Let me lower the size a little to be more accurate on the edges. Let me work on this one and also paint it. Alright, this is the first part of the basket. After that I will create one more layer, right above this one. And also change the color to number 12, so it looks different. I will continue it going up and just draw two lines with a small angle. Let's connect them at the bottom. Go like this, along the edge, and draw another arc that will be parallel to the first one. Let's increase the brush size and also paint it. I like working with this brush. It's very nice and easy. Let's finish it like this. Also keep it a little textured. It may go even more outside, this way. And now we can draw the handle. For that I will create a layer below this two and select color number 13. I will start from the left side with a small angle. Let's turn even more to the right side and draw sort of an arc. I will continue going to the right. Maybe we can first determine the shape. So I will draw like this, going down, and then draw another arc. Maybe make it a little flat here on top. Then make it round and also go down. Match it with this edge. Let's now paint it this way and then adjust the shape if needed. I will try to make the lines more smooth, but still textured. Let me work more on this edge. Alright. And now we can start shading. Since we are on the layer with the handle, let's work on it. So I will go to create a layer above it and clip to keep the textures inside. For shading I'm going to use one of my older brushes. It's called Cloudy Splash. In the colors I will select color number 11. Let's set the brush size to around 16% and go along the lower edge. We will see the splashes. After that I will change the color to number 14, which is darker, and go along the edge again. making strokes back and forth. Go into the right side and shading it like this, keeping the splash. We can lower the size and go along the edge a little more. This way. In the end, I will apply a lighter color, which will be color number 15. So let's set the size to around 14% and go along the upper edge. Also to add the splash. You can increase the size to make the particles bigger. Alright, now that the shape is ready, let's work on this one. So we can merge these two layers. Go to layer number 4 and also create a layer with a clipping mask. So I will first select color number 11 and use the same brush. The size here can be set to 20% and I will make strokes at the lower side. Then change the color to number 14 and draw more on the same edge. In the end, I will apply a lighter color, number 15, on top. Alright, this is also ready. Let's merge these two layers. Go to the layer number 3, and before we start shading it, let's add more shapes. So first I will create a layer above it and select color number 16. Let's also go back to chalk brush. Let's set the size to around 20% and draw a shape like this. I will make it rounded at the bottom and it may go a little outside. Something like this. Now let's create a layer below this one and draw another shape, crossing the first one, so in the end it may look like a letter X. Let me continue it here, and it will also go outside the basket. Let me lower the size and work more on the edge. Then I will paint the remaining area. And now that we have these two shapes, we can also shade them. So let me go to the first one, create a layer above it, and then clip. I will select color number 17 and also cloudy splash. We can set the size to around 13% and apply it here on the left side and a little at the bottom. After that I will select color number 18, which is slightly darker, and apply it more on the edge. Now we need to add a lighter color, which will be number 19. Let me make the size a little lower and add a few strokes on the right. Then I will do the same with the other shape. So we can merge these two layers. I will go to the layer number 7, also create another layer above it, and clip. Let's also start with color number 17 and apply it on the left side, making strokes back and forth. Then I will switch to color number 18. Let me increase the size and draw more, also on the left. And on the right side I will apply a lighter color, number 19. Draw like this. Now that these two shapes are shaded, I will also merge these two layers, and then these two, for the entire shape. Now we can duplicate it, and drag it to the right. I will rotate it like this, and use distortion to match it with the side, so it'll go like this. Let's now duplicate the initial shape and go to the layer below. This time I will move it to the left. Let's also rotate it. I will move it a little down and then distort. Let's duplicate it one last time. I'm duplicating the initial layer, and I will move it more to the right. Let me move it up in the layers, and then I will be using the eraser to remove the unnecessary part. First I will outline it, then go to selection and use it in freehand without color fill. I will just outline it and then cut. It will be fast. Now that we have the shapes, we can merge the layers for them and shade this part of the basket. So I'm creating a layer above it and also clipping. Here I'm going to use color number 14 and cloudy splash brush. Let me set the size to around 10%, and I will be shading it here, inside the cells. I think we can make the size bigger and finish the shading. Okay, this part is also ready. Let's go ahead and merge these 3 layers. And I think I will make the basket a little bit smaller. So let me select these 3 layers and use uniform transformation. Now it is fine. Let me create a layer above all layers. Before we start drawing the eggs, I'd like to add a couple of flowers on the basket, just as a decoration. So in the colors I will select color number 23 and also chalk brush. Let me set the size to around 18% and draw a simple flower shape. It will just consist of a few ovals. Go into different sides. Let me draw one more here. I will make this one a little bigger. Work a little more on the edges. And once I'm satisfied with the shape, I will shade it. So first I'll create a new layer above this one and select color number 14. I will draw a small oval here in the center with a small brush size. Let me rotate it. And after that I will create a layer below. Let's clip it to the pink layer. I will switch to color number 24 and cloudy splash brush. With the size set to around 9%, I will make a few strokes in the center of the flower by tapping, like this. Now I will switch to Inka brush, set its size to around 6%, and just draw a few lines, first separating the petals, adding sort of shadow between them, and then just drawing a few more lines, going to different sides, like this. Let me draw a couple of more. And that's it. One flower is almost ready. I think we can add a subtle texture on the spot in the middle. So I'm merging these two layers and go into this one. I will create a layer above it and then clip. I will pick this light color and use cloudy splash. Let me make the size bigger so we can see the texture better. And I will make a stroke like this inside. I think I will change the layers mode to overlay or soft light. I think soft light works better. After that I will merge these two layers. But I am not merging it with the flower. Instead I will select them both and group. After that I will duplicate the group. Let's flip it horizontal, drag it to the right side and transform it uniformly. I will make it a little bit smaller and after that drag it down. Now I'd like to change the color. So let me open the group and I will go to the layer with pink color. Let me select color number 22 and then I will drag it on the shape, like this. It will be recolored, but the part in the middle will stay the same. Now that it's ready, we can flatten both groups. Just to lower the number of layers. Then I will duplicate this light flower and move it to the right. I will place it on the opposite side, and we can either make it smaller or bigger, and also rotate. I will place it here. Alright, and now we can draw the eggs. So I will merge all the layers with the flowers, and then go to create a layer below this too. First let me select color number 21 and chalk brush. I will draw the first egg here. Make it as an oval. And then paint inside it. Let me make it a little wider. Like this. I will make it generally bigger. So we need to keep some space for 2 more eggs of similar size. Alright, I think this is fine now. Let me create another layer above. I will also change the color to number 22 and draw another egg in the center, intersecting the first one. We can make it slightly bigger or same size. Also make it go to the right. I will make the shape similar to the big one on the background. So on top they will be more pointy. Let me work a little more on the shape. And after that paint it. Like this. I think I will change the color to this one, so I will just drag it. Alright, this one is better. After that I will create a layer below this one. And select this pink color, number 23. Draw 1 more egg on the right. Go into the side like this. And intersect in the handle. I'm making these eggs big on purpose, so it looks more like cartoon style. Let me fix the edge here on top. And then I will paint inside the egg with a bigger brush size. Alright, now we have the base shapes and we can apply different patterns or textures. And I will start with the pink one. So let me create a layer above it first and then clip. I will start with the shading. From the color palette I will select color number 29 and Cloudy Splash from brushes. Let me set the size to around 20% and start applying it on the egg, on the left side, and go a little to the right. I think with a lower size I will also apply it here on the edge. And after that I will change the color into number 30. Apply it more. Let's add this cast shadow that comes from the front egg and also from the basket. I will make the size even smaller and draw around the flower, like this. Now it looks like a shadow. And we also need to add a highlight, using color number 22. Let me increase the size a little and add a light spot here, on the right side. After that we can try to add a pattern. For that I'll create a layer above this one and then clip. Let me go to Vintage Set and select the brush called Campania. I set the size to 100% and I will just make a couple of strokes on the egg. After that I will change the lace mode to soft light. It'll look like this. Now let's go to the next egg. So I will go ahead and merge this lace for the pink egg. Then go here, create a layer above it and clip. Here I'd like to draw horizontal stripes, but considering the volume of the egg, they will look as arcs. Let me first select color number 25. And to draw the stripes, I'm going to use Inka brush from Inking Set. Let me rotate the canvas. I will set the size to around 24% and draw the first arc on top. Then I will change the color to another one, which can be number 28. Increase the size a little and draw another arc. Then I will switch to color number 26, lower the size and draw one more line. That will be more narrow. Finally selecting color number 27, making the size bigger and drawing the last arc. Now we can fix it using either Liquify tool or Warp. I think I will use Liquify to be more accurate. We need to switch to push mode, set pressure to maximum, but without distortion or momentum. The size is set to around 30%, and I will be just dragging these arcs, especially on the edges, to make it look natural. I will lower the size and drag it this way. Working on the last one, which is on top. Making it more round. Alright. I think now it is better. I will keep it like this. I will deselect now and shade it. So for that I will create a layer above the current one and also clip. I will set the lace mode to multiply and switch to color number 7. I will also change the brush to soft brush from airbrushing. Let's set the size to around 8%. shade it on the left side, not pressing too much, and also on the right. I will press more on the edge, and also here at the bottom, to add the cast shadow. In the center I will keep it light. Now that it is also ready, we can merge the layers for it, and go to the last egg, which is this one. So I will also create a layer above it, then clip it, and first apply a pattern. For that I will select color number 20. Let's go to Procreate Textures and pick Victorian brush. I will make the size around 40% and just apply it on the egg. Actually, we can try to move it to find the best pattern. I will place it like this, then deselect it and shade. So I will create a layer above this one and clip. I will first select Cloudy Splash brush. Set the size to around 22 or 23% and make the strokes on the left side. Also at the bottom and under this egg with a lower size, so it looks like a shadow. Let's make the size even smaller and add the shadow around the flowers. Alright, I think we can make the color even darker. So I will create one more layer, then clip it and set it to multiply mode. Now when we apply the color, it will be darker. This way we will get a gradual shading. I will also add it here under the egg and under the flowers. We can also add a highlight. So I will create one more layer. I know it looks like a lot, but it is actually fine. They all work as they should. We just need to clip it. I will pick color number 1 and apply it here on the side. We can also try to change the layers mode, for example to soft light, so it's not so intense. I will just tap a few more times, like this. Now this egg is also ready. I will merge all the layers for it, and we can work on the background, also add a few more elements. So let me first go to this layer, create another one above it, and clip. First I will select color number 3. And we already have Cloudy Splash selected. I will just increase the size to around 45% and start making strokes here on top, changing the pressure to get different texture. And I think we can also add clouds. For that I'll create another layer, also clip it, and go to the color disk to select white color by double tapping here. In the Easter set you will find a cloud stamp. It's from my clouds brushes. The full set is available on Patreon. The size of the cloud is set to 17%, and I will tap somewhere here. Let me move it a little to the left, and then I will tap again on the left. Now I'd like to draw a couple of plants. Actually we can draw only one of them and then copy it. So I will create a layer above the fence. In the color palette I will select color number 20 and also pick this stamp for the decoration. Let's increase the size. We can set it to around 40% and tap on the canvas. Then we can scale it and rotate. I will place it here on the edge and try to match it with the egg. Maybe make it a little smaller, like this. Now I will shade it quickly and for that I will create a layer above it and then clip. First I will change the color to number 21. And for shading I'm going to use this rusty texture that we used on the fence. Let's just make the size small enough, around 25%, and start tapping on the leaves. Making strokes, mostly on the tips or on one side. Let me finish this too. And after that I will change the color to a lighter one, which is 22. You can make the size a little smaller and add more color on the same side. Let me paint the remaining leaves. This one. And when it is ready, I will merge these two layers and duplicate it. Let me drag it to the right side, flip it horizontal and make it smaller. I will also rotate it and place it here. Then I will duplicate the big shape once again. Move it to the right side again, but this time I won't flip it. I will only scale it and rotate. Place it behind the eggs, like this. Now it is also ready. In the end I'd like to add the birds, and I think we already spent too much time on the drawing. I don't want to make it too long, so I will just insert the birds that I pre-made for you. Let me now scale the bird and place it on the left. As you can see, I used exactly same brushes for shading and same colors, so the technique is exactly same, which you can repeat if you want. Now I will duplicate this bird, flip it horizontal, scale this one, and before we place it on the right side, I want to recolor it. So I will pick this 24th color and drag it on the darkest color on the bird. Adjust the color draw threshold. Alright, I think it is fine. Now I will move it and put it on the fence, like this. It already has sort of shadow. Let me now create one more layer to add some final touches. So I will pick this color number 21 and ink a brush. I will first draw a square like this. Make the lines thick enough. Alright. Now let's click on the arrow and rotate it to 45 degrees. Then I will select Warp tool and drag it inwards like this to make this cute detail. Now I will deselect it, click on the arrow again and switch to freeform. I will drag it to the right like this. Then switch to uniform mode and scale. I will place one here, then duplicate it, drag it to the left side, maybe also scale it a little, duplicate it one more time, and make it even smaller. I will place it here on the right. The drawing is almost ready, and the last part of it is optional. I just want to add a canvas overlay. For that I'll create a layer above all layers, Go to the color disk, and I will tap here to select black color. Also, I will pick this fine canvas texture. With the size and opacity set to maximum, I will apply it all over the canvas. After that, I will set the lathe mode to overlay. To change the darkness, I will go to Hue Saturation Brightness and make it a little bit brighter. I think around 59 or 60% is fine, so it's not so dark. And after that, the drawing is totally ready. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon for notifications. You can also unlock more tutorials and presets on my Patreon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.